Hello race fans watching around the world. This is Jake Sanderson, aka Snowman Cycling. I'm back once again. I've got another race recap video, and I promise you that this one is going to be fast, furious, crazy and chaotic as we head back to our favourite crit circuit on the Glasgow Crit course, where we've had some fun in the past, but this time it's totally different because it's just one lap, 3 kilometers total, which means this is going to be breakneck speed, balls to the wall, which is why when we hit zero, I launch out of the pen like a bat out of hell, trying to make life difficult for the solo B rider that made it into the pen, but mainly for the other riders, as this is a mixed category super sprint race, and I want to try and get ahead of the A's, make them have to fight to get on my wheel, and all the other riders too. So I'm using my positioning in the pen, I'm sprinting out of the blocks, and here we go, because this one is already well underway, and the fight starts now. And for those of you with poor attention spans, this one's going to be great. It's under 5 minutes total race time, with the added incentive of you get to see me set a new 5-minute power PB, fighting it out with the A's to see if we can be the top dog, the last man standing. We're going to do it all in our beautiful new shiny snow team kit, so at least even if we get smashed, we're going to look damn good doing it. And as we get to the end of the lead-in, I have joined forces with the A riders. The C riders are not too far behind, and I make sure to nestle myself snugly onto the wheel of this A rider just ahead, Maureen. I've seen him around a few times. He just sort of seems to sit his tempo, 4.5 watts per kilo the whole time. Not sure that's the best tactic for winning these sorts of races, but on the plus side for me, it means I can just sit on his wheel, draft him and let him tow me along, which is exactly what I do as the C riders manage to join forces with us. We all link up to form one big group. So rather than ploughing on as hard as I can, I elect to let these riders like Maureen pull me along, do the work for me, whilst I sit at the back of the group and draft. You know how I like to do it as a lazy sprinter, conserving my energy, and I'm going not too hard here, but as soon as we hit the Clyde Kicker in a K or so, I am going to go absolutely all in and launch it as hard as I can. So until then, I'm letting these riders do that work for me. And it's insane to think at this point we're well over 25% of the way through the race, and we're not even 1 kilometer in. And because we've done this course before, because it's one of my favourites, we have the tactical advantage of knowing what to do, when to attack, and what is likely to succeed. And as you all know, I like to launch it all in, go as hard as we can on the Clyde Kicker, and then look around, take a look, see who's still there, see who's able to come with us and follow the wheel as we go over the top of the Clyde Kicker, and then we'll figure it out from there. If we're solo, we'll push on. If there's a few of us, we'll try and conserve some energy and hit them again in the sprint. So I've tried to get the most out of my draft boost, but I know I'm going to go all in here, so I didn't get too much use out of it, but here we go. I launch it all in on the Clyde Kicker, and we're going to try and pour as much pain on the rest of the field as we possibly can, get rid of as many riders as possible. And I love there that Maureen used his steering to get out of the draft. That wasn't going to help you anyway, buddy, as the rest of the field comes flying past. I can see that the field is starting to string out, and we're causing some serious damage with those gaps opening up behind. But this fight is not over, not by a long shot, as the Japanese rider M makes a really sustained good effort to get back up to me, fight their way, and there's only a gap of about 14 meters as we go over the top. So I know at that point it's going to be difficult to stay away from M, but we do have a good crack at staying away from the rest of the field. And at this point on the descent, my legs and my lungs are absolutely burning. That was a lactate loaded effort, and unfortunately for me, I've still got 1.4k of the race left to go. So we're going to have to try and recover, rest the legs, reset, and go again for the finish if we want to take home the win here. And I'm keeping a really close eye on the dynamics behind. I can see that rider Maureen is just going to try and tempo back on, bring a C rider with him, and a few meters behind them is the remnants of the C group who are also trying to catch them. So it's worth me trying to keep an eye on what's going on so I can factor that into my decision making for the end game, seeing as we are only 1k from the finish. But also, it's worth noting that, to be honest, I'm not really very concerned about Maureen or the riders behind, because they've kind of demonstrated at this point they probably don't have the punch to fight it out for the win. So I'm perfectly happy to let them tempo their way back to the front, and realistically the only rider that I'm concerned about is our friend from Japan, the mysterious M, which is why I'm happy to sit on their wheel until they drag us to within a sprint of the line, which is why when these riders catch us it doesn't change much, and means that I'm going to be recovered, rested and ready to roll for this sprint finish we're about to launch. It might not seem like much, but those micro rests do help a lot. So I press the play on my power up button, we launch the aero boost, and with it we launch our sprint. All in, we hit just over 15 watts per kilo, not bad for a 5-minute max effort. And the aim on this finish is always to go as hard as you can on that little rise, crack them early, give them no hope, because it's really tough to catch up if you don't time that one right. And we can see that the rider M is doing really good power numbers behind and does start to close the gap very slowly, but it's just gonna be too late. They are gonna run out of road to be able to catch. And at this point, with a couple of seconds gap, I know it is all over. This is mine to win. The only question, what celebration am I going to embarrass myself with this week? Well, I'm going to call that one a home run as we cross the line first to take home the win. And with it, a new 5-minute power PB. I did 4.8 watt per kilo average, but the normalized power was 5.75 watts per kilo for 5 minutes. 348 watts. That's easily a 5-minute power PB for me. I'm really pleased with that. It just shows that the legs were in a lot better shape than I thought they were, and it explains why that one hurt quite as much as it did. My lungs and my legs were absolutely toasted.
Okay, that one hurt more than I thought it was going to hurt. I did race yesterday. I haven't raced for ages. I've been sick. I think the legs just need to adjust. I said it before, you can't recreate race training in workouts. I'm happy with that one. No other Bs turned up. We raced the A's. We got the win against the mixed category field. Gonna have to do for a lunchtime race. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you like, comment, most importantly subscribe, and as always, race fast, ride hard, and remember that you are appreciated.